Good evening, humans. TyrannosaurusMoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the SilverHawks Quicksilver and Tally-Hawk figure from Ramen Toy. I was definitely a fan of SilverHawks back in the day, and it's one that I only remember ever having villain figures, and I think I always wanted the SilverHawks. I have no idea why I didn't get them, because they were the vac metal and shiny and just absolutely beautiful figures. But when I saw this, I knew I had to have it, and just everything I've seen about it more has made it look even more appealing. And now that I have it in hand, I absolutely love that I have it. So let's talk about all the good stuff here, and let's get right into the review. Let's do this. In just a quick second to kick things off, I did want to take a look at the packaging. As you know, I don't normally do that. However, I love the beautiful, beautiful simplicity of this. And we got our square box, but just that shade of silver they use is absolutely perfect. Nice and reflective and matches the figure. Line drawing of Quicksilver right here. All of our accessories are behind that picture, and we have the figure posed with Tally-Hawk, and just very tastefully done. It catches your eye. In fact, this is one of the things that made me, I didn't pre-order initially, and this is one of the things that actually caught my eye. I was like, okay, I need it. And just beautifully, beautifully done. We have a drawing of Quicksilver right here, and then just another excellent picture here with all of the descriptions and all that sort of stuff. But just gorgeous, gorgeous packaging, especially in its simplicity. So I just want to take a minute to acknowledge that. Aesthetically speaking, this figure is positively gorgeous, and this falls into something I had brought up before. I forget for which figure, but just the way a sense of modernizing a classic design, a very simple classic design, in such a way that it makes sense and it's not overdone. Just not the sake of not complicating a design purely for complicating it, which for me happens to be a lot of like MCU redesigns, where it's just like there's so many details that just get lost. And this is absolutely not that. Just beautifully done. Just enough extra sculpt here in the torso, as you can see, to kind of really just make it look, I guess, a little more believable if you want. But I really love the way it looks. And I mean, it's SilverHawks. Obviously, they are very basic in terms of color schemes, which is great. Again, it lets that metallicness just shine, for a better term. And just looks really, really beautiful. It just got some nice touches of gold here on the wrist, and then the little dot here on the kind of, I guess you'd call that the belt buckle. Then we get the face sculpt. Absolutely just perfect. Love the expression, the kind of half eyebrow up. Everything is very beautifully just applied. And again, we kind of see little details with the earpiece here, and sculpt around the neck, just like little nice touches that aren't kind of overcrowding any of it and letting the silhouette of the design kind of shine through, which is very, very nice. And then coming over the back, we got some more details here as well. It's a very, very nicely done. And just a really good looking figure. And then of course we got to talk about Tally-Hawk. And Tally-Hawk looks great. Same thing, very little paint, doesn't need it. Just some extra sculpt, very functional looking, functional in cyber, which is very cool. And you can see just a little bit of the kind of tan here on the chest, and then the beak. The red eyes just absolutely pop. Love the way that looks. And then we get a little gold for the eyebrows. So just beautiful, beautiful figures. We get both a practical and concise loadout of accessories with Quicksilver and Tally-Hawk, and I absolutely respect that. And honestly, I think it's just the right amount. So let's move on to let's start with hands, as we normally do. I'm gonna be careful picking this up, and that will become apparent in the next section as to why. But right out of the box, we get a couple of fists for Quicksilver. Hey, that's the reason. We will get into that. Pardon me. So. And then we get a couple of relaxed hands. And finally, a pair of kind of chopping and flying hands, all beautifully sculpted. Then we move on to wing parts. So we get the outer wing part, which attaches, I believe, to the forearm for this one. And then we get a smaller piece that attaches to the body, which is also excellent, because they made it so not only will he be able to stand at a T with the full wing spread, but you can relax the arms a little bit, and these kind of plug in and help complete that effect. So that's excellent. And then finally for Quicksilver, we get the masked face, and beautifully, beautifully done. I love the blue they used. Definitely pops. If I could get this to focus, there we go. So you get that. And this just attaches via magnet, which I think is kind of brilliant. It definitely sticks on. You can move the figure around, it's absolutely fine. So just really well done there. So really cool way to approach that. And then finally for Tally-Hawk, we get 2 sets of wings. We get right out of the box the folded wings with that beautiful, beautiful sculpt that we looked at just about a minute ago. And then we get some soaring wings, and same sculpt, just kind of writ large. It's really, really, really beautiful. So that's accessories. Articulation, balance, and figure feel are all very, very, very nice here. And yeah, let's dive into the specifics of that. So as you can see, balance is on point. That is thanks in part to just the thick sculpt of the feet, which I didn't mention in aesthetics, but complete sculpt even down to the bottom of the soles. So double excellent there. But let's move on to articulation. And we're going to get to that point in a second. So our head, we're on a ball joint here at the base of the head, one at the base of the neck. So we can get, actually you can see the ball joint a little bit shallow, kind of like an SH Figure Arts, which again, I am fine with because I would rather have the joint come apart nicely instead of breaking. So absolutely no complaints from me there. So we get down about that much. We get up about that much. I'm sure if I mess around with it, I could probably get a little bit more. So there we are. We get some absolutely beautiful tilt because of the room that we got there. So that is just really good. Hinge and swivel at the shoulders. We also have a little bit of wiggle room, not a ton. I definitely wouldn't call that a butterfly joint, but there's some extra movement there, which will give you just that much extra bit of range. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Oh man. So we're coming to about 90. Again, that is just due to our sculpt. For our wrists, we are on joints that are again similar to SH Figure Arts. So you can get pretty much anywhere you want to go. I'm trying to figure out which way this one is pointing right now, just so I don't mess with it too much. So you can get, anything you want there, and obviously you can twist it if you want more of a horizontal. Then we get to the diaphragm, and we are in a ball joint. I was able to separate these earlier, so not too much on the twist. And honestly, because the sculpt, we're not getting too far forward, and that is in conjunction with the hips, which might as well just show it. So mine, I don't know if it's not glued or what, but as you can see, we have this kind of like plateau style joint with the little node over here. There's a channel in the torso for that to slide into, and that does give us a rotation. That piece does move, because if I move this to the side, you can see that node has kind of moved over a little bit. So not too bad. The more I articulate, the more it's becoming apparent, but yeah, that is what it is. Definitely something worth noting, and I mean, it could be far worse. I would just apply a little bit of glue and probably be good to go there. So because of that lack of range, we're not really getting too much on the crunch here, unfortunately. Not too far back, but still excellent all around because we're coming to the hips, and we do have drop downs, very nice, like fluid feeling drop downs, which is gonna give us out to here. Not complete splits, but definitely very, very nice. That is also giving us a full kick forward. Pardon me. Not coming about back that far. We get our thigh swivel at that hip joint as well. We get double jointed knees, which are coming at just about 90, maybe a little bit beyond. And again, that's just due to the sculpt. And then we come to the feet, and we once again have that kind of SH Figure Arts style joint, which in the position mine are in, give really nice pivot, but I'm not really sure how to twist it to get more of a point and a forward, because you can see they allowed a channel back and forth. So that's probably just my ignorance at the moment and not really kind of playing around with it enough. But yeah, it is possible, and I'm assuming it's certainly removing the foot and then kind of switching the joint will help there. And then last piece we get is this toe joint right here, which feels nice and hefty. So that's articulation. Moving on to size comparisons, here he is with a couple other modern takes on retro lines. with some Hasbro, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with our Articulated Icons Oni, and yours truly in human form as an Articulated Icons Ninja. So my final thoughts on the Ramen Toys SilverHawks Quicksilver and Tally-Hawk figure is that this is a kick-ass set of figures, and yeah, honestly, if you have any nostalgia for SilverHawks at all, this is definitely right up your alley. Definitely fills a void for me, and I'm super happy about that. Also want to correct something I had said earlier in the accessories section where I thought the two different sets of wings were going to combine. The larger set of wings are seen here, so that's the full spread, and then the smaller set of wings is for the more relaxed arms. So there you have that. And yeah, the only part I'm a little sad about here is the whole waist situation where, I mean, obviously mine comes straight out, and I kind of wish they had gone with a standard ball joint. I'm sure they have a reason for not doing that, so I definitely respect whatever reason that they have for that choice. And you know, like I said, probably just a little bit of glue and I can definitely make that work. So yeah, other than that, like, just the feel of the figure is absolutely phenomenal. It's got a great weight to it. Articulation is fantastic. Just, you know, absolutely, if you love SilverHawks, if you love Quicksilver the character specifically, do not sleep on this. Definitely pick it up. And I will leave links in the description below to where you can pick up yours if you are interested. So please check that out. And with all of that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and or sharing. If you want to take it to the next level or leave a tip in my digital hat, please check the bottom of the description below for that. So yeah, that is what it is. And I just want to thank you one last time for watching. I hope you take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.